Oh, hello motorcycle fans, how's everyone doing? Right. I I went out a few days ago with a different helmet set up. My Rossi Rep put a Cena mic and earphones and everything in there, and I got Lavia, is it? A Lavita mic. And I've got two, and I know one works, and I assumed it was a flat battery, and the other one doesn't. Well, I could only find the one, so as a precaution, I just changed the battery in it, and did about 5 vlogs, as you do, and it didn't bloody work. So that was about 3 days ago. So I should try and do them all again. I hate repeating myself, but yes. Anyway, I shall continue after the intro.
Right into this world all alone.
Yes, just a quick update, motorcycle fans, on the Triumph. As you can see, I'm on it today. I've been on it for a couple of weeks because as you know, it was the rectifier, well, hadn't died, but it was playing up. So to have that replaced with a sort of upgraded version that wires directly into the battery for whatever reason. So that was about £160 with fitting. And then it was due for its MOT on the 10th, so I thought, well, the guy couldn't get it in until the end of last week anyway. So I had the MOT, needed 2 new tyres and a chain, so that cost me a pretty penny. That's about £460, which I could have done without, but I mean it's due for its big service any time now. In fact, 24,000 it's due for it, but I'm probably going to run it another 1,000 miles or so and have it serviced. I think it's going to do the service for about £300, so it's cost as much as a bloody Ducati, isn't it? So yeah, it's just the valves want checking and shimming, and it's a cam out job, so I don't feel confident to do that sort of stuff, so he's going to do that. The rest of the service and I'll do myself, but it's had fluids changed, it's had a oil change and a filter and everything, so we're nearly there. So by the time I finished, it would have cost me as much as one, which it should have cost. I did get it a little bit cheaper, probably £300 or £400 cheaper than what they normally go for, but that's caught on. But an old bike, you expect this sort of thing. So there's that, and then the Ducati, as I think you know, has blown one of its fork seals. So that's been booked in for I think next week or the week after. It's got to be sorted for September because we're going away with Lord and Lady Hepcat, which would be lovely. I think we're going round the Lake District, you know, so that'd be nice. What else news-wise? Oh, I think that's about it really. Yes, as probably my people who know me on Facebook have seen, I put the 550 Katana on the bench yesterday, and when I bought it, it was worn, shall we say. You know, I knew it wasn't perfect, and it was enough patina where I felt comfortable with it to ride it and, you know, still be cool with it, as it were. But the winter, and we've had so much salt put down this last winter, bloody nightmare stuff, and AC F50 and all this bloody all over it, and washing it and blah 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 blah. Anyway, cut a long story short, it didn't fare well with the winter. I was thinking of using it again for this winter, but nah, it's a shame. I know the Katana's never going to be worth a lot as a classic bike, but that wasn't the reason for buying it. It was just because it was my first big bike after I passed my test, so that's the reason. I've got a love for them. It cost me, I think, 1,400, which for what it was is pretty much top dollar, but the mileage is low. It's only got about 15,000 miles from new. So obviously it's been left outside, probably not run for a few years, blah blah blah, you know, the usual stuff, but the engine is good, which is the important thing, because I've that rebuilt and that's sort of £1,500, so that just needs a good clean. Basically it just needs paint. It needs to be stripped down to the frame. The frames on those aren't very gloss, they're a bit of a satin, so I want to get somebody to do satin, or I'll get it blasted and do it myself, I don't know yet. So that's the big thing, having an engine out job, but I will do the tip it over on one side and lift the frame off job, so. But I thought I can't be bothered to do that. I was just going to do it a light fettle, just to touch it up and get it sort of back up to what it was before it went into winter, and I can't do it. All the fasteners have gone rusty. They're sort of passivated black, aren't they, on there? So yeah, I'm going to get all the fasteners off and do it. So I'm not going to start that until the I was going to say 350, but the 500 triple, the H1B Mach 3 is done. I'm just waiting for the tins now to come back from the painters. Come on. And that is just about finished, I'm hoping anyway. Because it's a classic bike, it doesn't need MOT or tax or anything, so I don't know how to do that. Because it's not been MOT'd for a couple of years, I'm not sure. So I might get it MOT'd to then tax it, which is free, and then it won't need MOTing next time. So, but yeah, so I was hoping to get that on the road for summer, so it's probably going to be late summer at the earliest. But at least that one will be done, and then I can do the Katana over winter. Right, I'm coming the boring way. I'm going to Newark. It's Tuesday. I go to Newark on Tuesday. And normally it's my picking up and dropping off wheel day, but I haven't got anything to drop off or pick up at the moment. Stuff has been ordered, etc, etc. So I would have gone the long way, but I've got errands to run, and so I'm just going to go the 47 and then go through Deeping that way, rather than going through Whittlesea, which is nice, and Crowland, which is nice. Might do that on the way back. Anyway, we've had a few days of horrendous rain, really teeming down, and I think we've got a day or so of reasonable weather, and it's going to rain again and then go reasonable again. So I had one day of rain and I'm missing the sunshine already, you know. I admit, in 30 odd degrees it's uncomfortable to work, I must admit. As soon as you start exerting yourself, you're absolutely pouring, but I'd rather have that than yucky weather any day of the week. It's like on your motorbike, you know, you've got to be going, what, about 90 miles an hour just to keep cool. So when the police pull you over, excuse me madam, do you know you're doing 90? Yes officer, it's to keep cool. You know, it's an excuse. You'll get away with it, I'm sure you would, because you know the police are very, very kind and considerate when it comes to keeping cool. So, without further ado, I shall bid you an adieu, and I'll talk to you soon. You take care, guys. Bye bye.
The crow flies straight, a perfect line, on the devil's back until you die.